Hello everyone and welcome back to the Harkleroad-Adams channel here on YouTube. My name is Drew Hare. I have our analysts Matt Harkleroad and Chris Adams. We're here to kind of recap and talk about the 2019 wide receivers. We got a chance to, we wanted to make sure you got a chance to talk about the wide receivers because we did record a video back in August about the rankings for our two analysts for the top 20 wide receivers. We didn't get a chance to post it. So
it's my bad, guys.
We want to get at least get a chance since the season's finally wrapped up. Let's just go ahead and talk about the initial rankings, how they might have changed, and we'll see what it's
Let's just see. I mean, because usually we do our quarterback rankings or our running back rankings, and we try to rank them like what's the best quarterback for a year right now, assuming that they actually play a season. So this time's gonna be kind of fun since we didn't post one. We'll do it right now, and we can make fun of
live.
We'll do it live, and then we can make fun of ourselves and how bad we are, or find out that we're actually not too bad.
And Drew is reading the list live for us from the list that we put together back over the summer.
I've not seen this list.
Since we shot the initial video.
All right, so let's go. We're going to start from number 1. We'll work our way down to 20, and we're going to have some fun along the way.
Yeah.
Number 1, you guys had DeAndre Hopkins.
I still think he's the most talented wide receiver in the league.
There's nothing
hard to argue with that. Does everything you want a wide receiver to do. Had another great year.
Although I think you could really make an argument about Michael Thomas being the best wide receiver in the game right now. Those two guys, I think, are right neck and neck. But I don't think anybody would be mad at us for putting DeAndre at number 1.
And Michael Thomas certainly had the best year, and he'll probably has a good chance to be number 1 when we do this next year. But at the time, nobody would have put him above Hopkins.
Right. Well, and this is where it gets fun. Number 2, Antonio Brown.
Great season.
Raiders, question mark, is literally what it says.
Technically, he was never on the Raiders, right? Because he...
Well, by that point, we didn't know.
Well, he only played one game, right?
For the Patriots,
For the Patriots,
It was a halfway decent game.
But based off of what he had done in the past, that was more of just a...
we did not expect a guy's life to blow apart. It's hard to predict that.
Again,
at that point, we had some inklings when we were but at the same point, what are you going to do?
Number 3, Julio Jones from the Falcons.
Fair, again, guy's been consistent, and it's hard to knock consistency when you're making a ranking like this.
Yeah. And he also still, from a physical standpoint, still has everything you want in a wide receiver. You'd wish you would get in as a Julio Jones owner in a dynasty fantasy league. It would be nice if he got in the end zone a little bit more. But these aren't fantasy rankings.
Yep.
These are not fantasy rankings.
These are wide receivers. This is specifically just the best players, not based on any situations. And then we go to number 4, Odell Beckham Jr. for the Browns. With all of the excitement coming in, that wasn't. I mean, that's a little bit of a bullish decision or a bullish ranking, but not by much.
No, not really. And again, this gets back at the time.
Yeah, and super talented, had an injury, apparently an injury season
that nobody really knew about.
I mean, it could be just a convenient excuse for not having a great season.
We did have surgery, though.
Yeah, that's true.
And those core injuries.
But again, I mean, we do this ranking next year. Does a guy with Odell's skill set not end up in the top 10 again? I think he probably finds his way there again.
Maybe not number 4 next year.
Well,
but
I think what we talked when you guys talked about in August or September is that once you got past the top 3, you could make a decision. 4 to 12 even. And this list kind of goes through there. There was just so many good options.
My guess is next year if you slot somewhere in that 5 to 10 range.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm probably closer to 8.
Yeah.
That sounds right.
Somewhere in there.
And somebody who's not going to be ranked 5th or 8th next year, Michael Thomas.
I
mean, he's going
to probably be number 1 next year. Or 2 at the worst.
1, 2, depends on your preference.
You literally can't guard Mike.
No, he can't.
As his Twitter will tell you.
I like it. That was nice. 6, Keenan Allen for the Los Angeles Chargers.
Yeah, another good season for a guy. I mean, a guy's got all the physical skills. Not a great year for the Chargers.
It was fine.
Maybe fell off a little bit this year.
Yeah, maybe that was a little bit high in retrospect.
Yeah.
Not too high, but...
Not too bad.
But he has a consistent 1,000-yard receiver. Again, he lost a lot of help at wide receiver too this past year. I mean, a lot of pieces left in the offseason coming into the season, and that always hurts.
And Phillip Rivers showed his age this year. Also, Keenan Allen, though, I will say, I mean, he's a very, very good receiver. I don't know if he's the kind of guy who can ever just take over a game the way some of the guys above him can.
Yeah, because didn't he have like a 13 to 14 catch game like earlier this year? Like he had like a.
I mean, he's
and that's what he can do. He
Yeah.
can do that, and he can take over in that capacity. But it's not any.
But again, good hands. Always seems to be in the right place. I mean, he's a solid wide
It's a
receiver.
really weird year for the Chargers across the board. 7 was Mike Evans.
I think that's
probably where I would put him again.
Yeah, it might be a little low, but it's hard to say with how pass happy that offense was.
Right.
I mean, 2 guys with over 1,500 or not 1,500, over 1,300 yards catching, both of them, I believe, and both in the top 5 receiving yards for the season.
And so Godwin is not on this list. We did not have him. You guys, I think he was right there, probably at the cutoff point. But I think you guys moved with some other receivers.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to say. I mean, I definitely took him in every one of my fantasy leagues, if that tells you something.
Yeah.
I had a feeling he might have a really big year, but it's hard to rank a guy.
Yeah, our rankings are not about prognostication.
Yeah, like what we think's going to happen.
Yeah.
So.
At number 8 was Devontae Adams for the Packers.
Yeah,
that sounds about right.
About where he is.
He missed a couple games this year, but that sounds about.
Yeah, when he's in the game, he's one of the best players on the field. Whenever he's on the field, quarterback play not the best that they've seen in Green Bay. So,
AJ Green with the Bengals was 9, and you talk about that's 2 guys in the top 9 who you do not expect to have a complete lost season.
Right.
Yeah. Right, and his is kind of like the saddest one of the bunch to me. I mean, not going forward, he should be able to play again, but it just felt like he was supposed to come back week 6, and then week 7, and then 9, and then 10, and then 14, and then.
And then by the time you get to week 10, 11, 12, you're just like, okay, you're going to come back and win, and a 2-win team becomes a 3-win team. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Is he in Cincinnati next year? Who knows?
Who knows?
Number 10 was Tyreek Hill from the Chiefs. I mean, that feels about right.
Yeah, maybe move him up a little bit. I think he's grown as a wide receiver. I mean, he's always been a speedster. I think he's had a pretty.
He's done a little more this year.
Yeah, I think he's done a little more growth as a wide receiver, and I think he's easily a top 10 wide receiver in this league.
I think so too. This is where we start kind of getting into more of a personal preference. I think we talked a little bit. I think that this is really going to be some interesting players here. Adam Thielen for the Minnesota Vikings at 11.
Another weird season for Adam Thielen, but pretty good, solid.
Still missed a couple games.
Missed a couple of games, but again, was he the number 1 option in Minnesota? Maybe again. It depends on the game and what their game plan was.
I think his role was more consistent versus what Diggs could do, because Diggs could get 200 yards or 50 yards.
I think that Vikings offense, and it's not so much they have a 1 and a 2 as they have 2 like 1 minuses.
Yeah. 2 A minus.
Yeah.
A and A minus. Yeah. But
or 2 A minus.
Right.
Right. So at 12, you guys had Robert Woods for the Rams, which another weird season. But like I said, both those LA teams were just so weird. Period. It felt
maybe
like the Rams had more.
Well, let's see who's at. That seems like a little, in retrospect, a little high for Woods. But let's see who we had after him.
13, you had Julian Edelman from the New England Patriots.
It's a tough one too. Brady had such a bad season overall, and guy still catches everything you throw to him. Just.
But he has more physical limitations than a lot of the other people on this list.
Yeah, right.
So.
But maximizes what he has.
Absolutely.
And he was coming off of the Super Bowl.
Super Bowl MVP.
Right. So.
And at 14, Juju SmithSchuster from the Steelers, which was by the time he got 22 was completely derailed the entire season.
Yeah, nobody threw the ball to him, and
nobody. But I think I think Juju, even if Ben had played, he would have suffered from not having Antonio Brown on the other side of him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, and running back helped too, throwing the ball.
Yeah.
I mean, Connor's not that great of a backfield catcher. Though they tried to use him a little bit that way this season. Not the same thing as Le'Veon Bell being back.
But I'm not sure that Juju is that kind of receiver who can dominate when he's the only guy. Like, the top guys on this list, doesn't matter who else you have on him. Like New Orleans, Michael Thomas was the main wide receiver threat there, and people were doubling him, and he was still catching everything. So.
But Juju's still only 23 years old.
Yeah,
because he's going to be, he might not be at 14 next year. Maybe you guys have him like 18, 19, 20 in like a proven type year. But we just need to see can Juju do that.
Yeah, right.
After that, at 15, you had Jarvis Landry for the Browns.
Jarvis,
great.
That sounds his best season as a pro. Actually, in hindsight, probably a little low with the season. I mean, not at the time, right? At the time, I think it fit. We thought his production might take a step back with Beckham being there.
Yeah.
But he actually had a better year than Beckham. So.
Yeah, and consistency. The guy was catching 5 balls a game easily every game, and had some really big games. And I think again, a guy with some limitations physically, makes the most of it. He definitely deserves to be in the 10 to 15 range.
The knock on Jarvis coming into this year was he never had a great yards per catch average, and this year it was up over 13, 14, so he had a career high there.
Yeah. At 16, Stephon Diggs for the Minnesota Vikings, so there's that second Vikings.
Yeah.
That sounds about right.
Yeah.
They threw the ball a ton up there, and if Cook wasn't stealing the show, maybe we get some more notifications of these, these guys being and also, we didn't put any tight ends on this list.
Yeah,
because
correct.
Probably a couple of the tight ends slot into this place.
Maybe we need new tight end rankings next year.
I don't know if we can. How many do you put on the list?
Before
maybe we do a patch pass catcher.
I think maybe that's where we go. We expanded 25, and we add
pass catchers.
Instead of just doing 20 wide receivers, we do 25 wide receiver tight ends. I think that might be more interesting.
I think so too, because then it'd be very interesting to see where you would put Julio versus Kelsey, or Kittle versus Keenan Allen.
Exactly. Mark Andrews, where do you put him?
Yeah, exactly right. At 17, Amari Cooper for the Cowboys. I think especially going into free agency, I think he's really one of the big movers who you guys would put higher at this point.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, Gallup probably had a better season than Amari Cooper even did.
I don't know, Matt. I've always feel like I've been more high on Cooper than you have over the years in the rankings.
I mean, I don't know. It's a tough call. I mean, that offense again was weird. They were so bad towards the end, the back half of the season. But yeah, I mean, Gallup again had a probably statistically better season than Amari Cooper did. And when you're the number one wide receiver, you've got to be able to get open and catch balls. It didn't happen too much for Amari. But again, physical talent-wise, he's got it all.
At 18, T.Y. Hilton from the Indianapolis Colts. I think this was right around the time where we just expected, Angelo just to continue throwing the ball to him, and we just see the different. And then obviously T.Y. was also hurt for a amount of the year too, so this is another, not complete loss season.
But the guy's been consistent gets as a wide receiver. He's always at that 1,000-yard conversation, if not out there, and hard to knock T.Y.
Yep. At 19, Kenny Golladay from the Detroit Lions.
Big guy, decent year, not a great offense. Maybe he's a guy that can make a move.
I think we might be ranking him a little bit higher next year.
And at 20 was Tyler Lockett from the Seattle Seahawks.
That's the guy we probably screwed more than anybody on this list, huh? Lockett had a pretty good season. And he's a guy. He's just dependable. Besides leaving Godwin off, but again, who expected that to happen?
Cortland Sutton was another one that we left off, but again, no one really expected.
But based on your list, you guys needed to see him.
Right. Oh, yeah, exactly.
Versus like you guys, as you talk about, it's not just what you project; it's where you are right now.
Yeah. Besides Godwin, I mean, if you look back at the numbers for the year, I don't think you're going to say there was any other glaring omissions.
And especially if you look at in what I like to call realistic 2020 hindsight, which is like obviously all hindsight's 2020, but like realistic 2020 hindsight is trying to think back to that moment with the information that we had on hand back in the summer when we ranked these.
Right.
It's hard to argue.
You would have never put Devontae Parker in the top 20 or anywhere close to that. But at the end of the year, he might be in the top 20-21 range.
Actually, kind of a really impressive season for Devontae Parker with losing Stills on the other side, still making a pretty good season of it with whoever at quarterback. I mean, Rosen threw the ball to him for half the season, right? So, and then maybe you talk about a guy like A.J. Brown next year.
DK Metcalf. I mean, all the rookies. We didn't even talk about any of the work.
Well, again, we typically try with, we don't rank rookies.
Correct.
So
I think those guys are going to make it, especially if you expand that past catchers list out to 30.
Well, we certainly know Antonio Brown will not be in the top.
Well, unless he's coming back. I mean, if he comes back and he's not suspended for whichever person he's assaulted this week, then who knows? But the guy has every physical tool. He's a freak athlete with a freak work ethic when he wants to work. So it's a tough call, but you're probably right. Probably not going to be on the team, so it's hard to rank a guy not on the team. We're not putting any free agents on there.
But I thought the list overall, I think was a few omissions, a few guys which maybe a couple of but we also didn't expect to have lost seasons from 2 or 3 guys.
And a couple of rookies that probably make this list.
I think so too.
And then maybe a couple of these older guys start falling off, and maybe we missed out on an opportunity to rank Fitzgerald for the last time, and maybe we should have again.
He's coming back.
I'll try. Yeah,
maybe we can do an honorary 26 spot for Larry Fitzgerald
we can
next year.
We'll just keep putting him there until he retires.
That's fair. Any final thoughts for?
No, this is kind of a fun exercise.
Yeah, I kind of enjoyed it, and maybe losing that video wasn't the worst thing I've done. Maybe, it's still the Super Bowl picks. So
yeah.
All right, guys. Well, let's tell everybody once again. We have our new Twitter profile out there. It's at Hark-Adams Sports. And for Drew Hare, Matt Harkleroad, Chris Adams. Thank you all for watching. Like, subscribe, follow us on YouTube, follow us on Twitter, and we'll see you again soon.